Our world has no future without nature. As civilization progresses, our world becomes reliant on fossil fuels, filling the atmosphere with carbon emissions exacerbated by deforestation and forest degradation. And today, we are facing a climate crisis. The planet is warming at an alarming rate. We are racing against time to protect nature and to preserve life. Yayasan Konservasi Alam Nusantara believes that if we help nature thrive, nature will help us fight the climate and biodiversity crisis. Science shows that natural climate solutions, based on the protection, restoration, and management of forests, grasslands, and wetlands, can deliver up to a third of the emission reductions needed by 2030. As the home of the third largest tropical forest in the world, Kalimantan Forest has the potential to contribute up to 40% of Indonesia's overall NCS mitigation potential of 1.4 gigaton carbon dioxide equivalent. Since 2010, Indonesia Terrestrial Programs started working in East Kalimantan's Berau district, implementing 4 key strategies to reach these targets by 2030. In 2016, we fostered a unique partnership with the local government and its agencies, companies, academics, communities, and NGOs that was built based on lessons learned from the Berau Forest Carbon Program since 2010. Together, we are committed to conserving forests, reducing emissions, and advancing a sustainable economy through the East Kalimantan Green Growth Compact. The compact is then manifested in prototype initiatives, which began with 7 initiatives and have since grown into 11 initiatives with support from more than 200 groups. One of the initiatives is the Endangered Species Habitat Conservation. Management of essential ecosystem area for orangutan habitat corridor in YKAN landscape, which has demonstrated our non-confrontative and participatory approaches in conserving orangutan habitat outside of conservation areas on a productive landscape. On-the-ground initiatives, like in YKAN, are also supported by mobilizing enablers and strengthening commitment for green development at the provincial jurisdiction. Lessons learned from YKAN are scaled up by working with stakeholders to identify areas to replicate similar collaborative landscape management in saving endangered species habitats and wetlands ecosystems. Experts identified 2.7 million hectares of indicative areas in East Kalimantan, which endorsed by the governor. Protecting tropical forests in state forest areas, also known as kawasan hutan, is particularly critical. They cover more than 50 million hectares of natural forest essential for human life and biodiversity. The vast area of natural production forest is the living carbon reserve and the last chance ecosystem, harboring important biodiversity and provider of environmental services. Our Sustainable Forestry Initiative aims to transform sustainable practices and business profitability through multi-business strategies. Together with partners, we have developed sustainable forest management tools for the active concessions. These tools have been adopted by local forestry stakeholders, including one in conflict resolution. For instance, the reduced impact logging carbon real C methodology has proven to reduce up to 50% of logging-related emissions, benefiting Indonesia's target for emission reduction. We also developed new forestry business models for businesses beyond timber to revive idle concessions areas. This way, a sustainable economy could grow and benefiting biodiversity, climate change mitigation, and adaptation. High conservation value areas in oil palm plantations play a vital role in storing carbon and boosting rainforest biodiversity. We support the East Kalimantan government's commitment to sustainable agriculture development by developing a mitigation hierarchy in protecting high conservation value areas through scientific studies. The partnership has succeeded to support commitment to protect and manage more than 400,000 hectares of high conservation value areas. As local communities, including the indigenous people, live at the heart of forests, our efforts in protecting and preserving nature wouldn't be sustainable without the participation of the local communities. Through the Communities Inspiring Actions for Change, or CIGA program, hundreds of village communities are empowered to secure access and rights to manage natural resources, strengthen village governance, and develop sustainable livelihood. SIGUP approach has facilitated an improved village development index in Berau, providing performance-based incentives for villages with lower deforestation rates and improved commodity and community product values. Through holistically addressing climate change mitigation at the jurisdiction, landscape, and community level, it is possible to create a world where people and nature thrive. And it took each one of us to join hands, build the same vision. For the world we depend on us. For sustainable Indonesia.